Hey, what's going on, everybody? Movie Phantom here, and yeah, back. Got my good guest here, Natalie Myers. Say what's up.
What's up?
You just did. I'm sorry. Now to let you guys know, there is like a rave happening here at the cemetery, so you may hear some music coming. Once again, their Lairs wall is very thin. They're very thin, so you can hear this party on there. And of course, I'm just letting them know, like, you know what happens when you have a rave in a cemetery. We've all seen Return of the Living Dead. So, you party in the cemetery, you know what happens. So, anyways, we can come back with you, and thank you for being here once again.
Welcome.
Not gonna lie, fam's a smidget tired. Just a little tired.
You like smigget?
Just a smidget tired. So, but you know what? We soldier on. That's what we do. Once I get into this show, I get into, get my form. I'm good to go. All right, we got a couple of movies for you this week. And these were both requested from Ghostface Kid 101. We got It.
It's creepy as heck.
And we got The Strangers. So both these are, I'm doing these for Ghostface Kid 101. So, and I want to thank Misery Black. Her show debuted last week.
For once in like 1,000 years.
Yeah, finally, after all that wait, the long-awaited, thing. So, thank you, Misery, for having me on the show. I do appreciate it. Kind of weird to hear that. Usually I always thank other people for being on my show. Thank you, Misery, for letting me on your show. Do appreciate it. Even though it's on my channel, it's kind of messed up. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and get started on here now. Last week I asked the question, what was your top 3 favorite Wes Craven films? Got numerous responses. First up, speaking of Ghostface Kid, Ghostface Kid 101 hit me up. He said, now he kind of made a top 6. But I'm going to break it down to top 3 because it's easy to do. You'll see why. His number 3 was My Soul to Take, which he really liked. I honestly did not. Was not a fan of My Soul to Take. I just thought it was god awful. It's just my opinion. I'm just saying. But
I never seen it.
It felt like an 80s horror today. Now I could watch 80s horror and I love it, but it seems like today the scares are lost. Like, you watch,
so not that interesting.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just like, you watch it for, Friday the 13th or even Halloween. And it's like the scares aren't really there because you see it so much. Whereas when you watch these movies, it's the same thing. It's like I've already seen it a million times before.
You're used to it.
Yeah, pretty much. It was almost just like, you've seen this before. There was no scare. I don't know. I was not feeling it. Same goes for The Ward, which is John Carpenter, his newest movie. Didn't care for it either. And it just felt like it was just so 80s. Which is in a bad way when I say that. Normal I'm just like, it's so 80s, but no, in a good way. No, this was a bad way for sure. His number 2 was A Nightmare on Elm Street, which I love. And then, of course, sharing a 4-way tie, I guess you can say, for number 1, the entire Scream series. So you had him in 6, and he was like, 6, and then 4, and yeah, he had them all in order there. So yeah, Scream, which I like the Scream trilogy. The first 3 Screams I thought were pretty good. Didn't care for part 4. Now, Misery liked 4. We actually went there. I think that's just the age thing. That's, same with you, man. I think it's just the age thing. Because when I was a kid, it was Scream and, the Scream trilogy when I was in school. And now, I'm older, and I was almost like Neve Campbell in this movie. But you get, this new generation. And it just seemed like it was more of a horror movie for them. And I was just kind of like, I'm lost. So, I don't know. I'm not ranting about Scream 4. Wasn't huge on it, but thank you very much for participating. Of course, the show's good friend, 13th Wolfman, hit us up, and he said his 3 was The People Aren't the Stairs, was number 3, which I did a review on that. I really liked it. I thought it was a really good movie.
I've never seen it.
Never seen it? You haven't seen a lot. You need to start cracking down on these movies now.
I told you, I live in the, cornfields. We don't get good reception out there.
But you watch Good Luck Chuck? Good Luck Charlie. Good Luck Charlie?
That's the neighbor's house.
Yeah. No, neighbor's house. Okay, I got you. Well, you need to go to neighbor's house and be like, hey, let's get this horror collection going right here. Let's get this collection out. Let's start watching these movies. Number 2, he had The Serpent and the Rainbow, which I really like too. Voodoo movies freak me out. I'm not gonna lie. Just don't F with it. So yeah, that's another one of those that.
If you mess with it, it might come back and after you.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't F with it.
Don't mess with it.
And then his number 1 was The Hills Have Eyes. So yeah, and I love that movie too. I think it's just awesome.
The Hills Have Eyes.
The Hills Have Eyes. You ever seen it?
No.
You're just making fun of the title, aren't you? You just taking a shot at the title.
It sounds weird.
Like you're picturing actual hills with eyeballs sticking out the hill. I see what you're saying. I'm not gonna lie, that'd be freaky too. If I'm just walking down the road and like these hills just go. I'm like, oh my god, they're looking at me. Holy shit. So, thank you, 13 Fold Man. I do appreciate it. And Jimmy Maggot hit me up, and he said his 3 was at number 3, Deadly Friend, which I have not seen yet. Whenever I was found out that he did Deadly Blessing, which I reviewed last week, I went kind of back through Wes Craven's filmography because I was going to pick my top 3, and I just want to see, so I wouldn't leave anything out. I came across Deadly Friend. I'm like, I never even heard of this, so I definitely want to check it out. But yeah, this is number 3. His number 2 was New Nightmare, which is the 7th in the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Damn good. I'm not going to lie, it's my number 2. And, of course, his number 1 is the original Nightmare on Elm Street, which is also my number 1. So, of the series and of Wes Craven's movies. So, thank you guys. I do appreciate it. Now, this week, I'm not going to do top 3. I know. It's kind of shocking.
Sounds weird.
It's a little different. Because I didn't know, how, the only thing I think of when I'm looking at these movies, what was my top 3, Stephen King TV miniseries? And I don't really care for a lot of the TV miniseries. It's this and The Shining. And The Shining I thought was just okay. I didn't really think...
I love The Shining.
No. The TV miniseries, though. The remake they did.
Is it a remake?
It's a TV remake, though.
That doesn't sound very interesting.
It wasn't bad. It just wasn't great.
It wasn't good like the movie.
It was no Jack Nicholson, Stanley Kubrick. I'll tell you that right now. No, you can't replace Jack. That's all there is to it. Unless you're Heath Ledger, but he's dead already. So, anyways, I was just like, I don't know. Because I didn't care for The Stand. It's okay. Somewhat. Tommy Knocker, same way. I'm like, this is just kind of a weak top 3. So I was like, you know what? F it. Let me just ask a question. And I think this is a question I would love to see other people's responses. So, when thinking about it, Pennywise the Clown, he uses, he gets inside your mind. He uses your own fears against you. So, it's a 2-parter, this question of the week. First question is, what is your biggest fear? What scares you the most? You got a big fear here. What scares you? What scares Natalie Myers? I'm curious.
Well, whenever we have to go across the cornfield, we have to go over how do you pronounce it? A sewer thingy.
Okay.
And I'm always afraid
a drain?
He's gonna pop out and grab you.
So you're saying literally Pennywise is the scariest thing to you? Wow, did not realize that.
He's creepy.
So really, the second question wouldn't really apply to you then, because I'll answer mine first. My biggest fear would be sharks. I can't explain it. I've only been around sharks. I don't fuck with them, dude. They're scary as shit.
Okay, but when we went to the zoo, you petted a shark.
I did, and I was trembling. Okay, I'll tell the story real quick. All right, so we go to the zoo, and as we go in there, first the thing we see though, when I first walk into this thing, because let me explain my fear of sharks first. It's movies. That's all there is to it. It's plain and simple. It's movies. Jaws. Deep Blue Sea. A whole slew of bad fucking Sci-Fi Channel original sea. But it's still scary, right? So, just years of watching these movies is really just And then, of course, I used to have these old National Geographic books and everything. They had one about the ocean. And sure enough, they get the scariest pictures of sharks. Not just sharks, no, it's sharks with their fangs or their teeth coming at you. And I'm like, holy shit. So I've always just been afraid of sharks.
I never knew that.
Yeah, literally. You
learn something new every day.
We learn something new every day. We go to the Indianapolis Zoo, and as we're up there, we go into the aquarium part. Now, when you first walk in, first thing I see, when I walk in, I look down this guardrail, there's a giant freaking shark. And I'm like, holy crap.
It's not real. It's like a projector.
Projector, but I freak out because I'm like, there's no guardrail. I've seen Deep Blue Sea. This motherfucker's gonna jump out, grab me, and and pull me back in. So I'm already scared shitless. Now they didn't have any big sharks there. What they had was
that'd be actually kind of funny.
Yeah, I would just crap myself. What they had though, they had this. It's almost like a fountain type pool.
It was bigger than those
Yeah, it was a huge thing. I mean, you had to walk all the way around this thing.
There's probably about 20 sharks in there.
Yes, they had a ton, but they were little bitty, they looked like baby sharks, but they weren't babies, just the size of them. But you could pet them. That was their thing. And yet, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm freaking out.
His hand was going like that.
I'm literally just kind of like this. I'm not showing it, but I'm putting my hand in there. And the thing is, it plays tricks on you because like it looks like you just reach in and touch one. Like the water's here, you just reach in and touch one. But it, like you gotta go in deeper. So the first time I try to pet one of the sharks, I'm trying to go in for the last second. That way, I'm very putting my hand in there as the mouth's coming through, so I rip my hand off. Like in my mind, my arm's ripped out of the socket, and it has my arm making a lap. And of course, the blood is literally like, it's like they're all getting in a frenzy now, and they're like, oh, it's blood. And now they're all like jumping out of the pool, attacking people. This is the horror movie I'm playing in my head.
Yeah, it looks like it's like that much, but no, it's like
So
that.
you had to like reach all the way in there. So I pulled the sleeve up, and I'm waiting, and it comes by. So I reached down there, and I felt it. And it was so slick and wet. And I just remember
it was like slick and gooey.
Yeah, and I was just like, I pulled it back out, and I'm like, ugh. Okay, I petted a shark. Now, once again, in my mind, this is a major achievement. Even though this shark's like this big, in my mind, I just petted Jaws. I was like, all right, I'm the man now.
Yeah,
so I got brave enough to put my hand back in there. Did you pet one on, didn't you?
Yeah, it's like he petted a shark. He goes, wow, that wasn't too bad. Let's pet one again.
And so I'm in there petting a shark. That's how I faced a sort of like my fear.
But he's
so
still probably scared.
That is, well, still, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I'm in the ocean, there's a shark, I'm gonna crap myself, and hopefully the fecal matter will, repel the shark.
Like, hopefully, like he goes, don't see me, don't see me.
So, the second case, that's the first part of the question. The second part of the question is, how do you think Pennywise would use your fear against you? Now, I'm picturing, like, if I'm in Derry, Maine, they're in the sewer area, there's that little marsh kind of bogginess there. I just see the shark popping out of there. Like, all I can think of, like, I'm trying to put myself in the movie, like, I'm one of the Losers Club, I'm in the Lucky Seven. I picture, like, literally either that or I'm at, like, the pool, and I just see, like, a Pennywise shark coming at me. Either way,
Pennywise shark.
Oh, yeah, because it's him taking the form.
Okay.
So, in you, then, I mean, if you're in this movie, is it just Pennywise himself coming at you, and that's scary enough? You're just like, fair enough.
It's like, here comes Pennywise, I'm like, I'm out.
I'm out there. All right, so I want to know, what is your biggest fear? And then part 2 of that question is, describe to me how Pennywise would use your fear against you. Like, put yourself in this movie. Now, technically, you can hit me up a number of ways. Now, I'll be honest with you. Let me go through the other ones before you start throwing them out there. Facebook, you can hit me up over there. You can hit me up movefam7@gmail.com. Comment down below or personal messages. However, this is the kind of one that I really think would be better if you explained it because that's a lot of words. If you do a video response. So, but hey, either way is cool with me. But yeah, that's the question of the week. What's your biggest fear, and how do you think Pennywise would use it against you? So, or I'd be like in the toilet, and Pennywise would just be like, I'd hear like that, help us. I'm like, what the hell? Look down, and Pennywise shark pops up, and then what happens? I'd be in the corner like this, and then it'd just be like the clown in the toilet, like, got you, Phantom, and then
like it's like a Pennywise, but with the head of a shark.
No, he'd be back to normal. He would like reveals himself back to normal, like after he scares you. So he'd be like, come on down. We all float. And then I'd make a floater joke because I just dropped a log in there. And then he'd drop down. That'd be the end of it right there. So, all right.
That sounds very weird.
You'd watch it. You'd be like, this is the best movie ever.
And kind of funny at the same time.
All right, so let's roll right along after doing a poop joke. We'll hit up. We got some news. We got quite a bit. I'm not going to lie, it's more sequel news or reboot news, but it's news nonetheless. Now, as we all know, The Possession did really well. Did real well at the box office, and it did really well like DVD sales and Blu-ray sales. Excuse me. A little heartburn there. Fans getting old. Can't just eat pizza and do a show like this, because...
Yeah, go with flowers. Makeup flowers.
So, but, The Possession did real well, so they've already said Possession 2 coming soon, so be prepared for that. Did you see The Possession? No.
I wanted to go, but they wouldn't let me.
They wouldn't let you? Bastards. All right, up next.
Let me back in the cornfield.
Let you in the cornfield. That happens. I remember when I was young, no one, wanted me around. They pushed me in the corner. Well, they pushed me back in the, cemetery, but still, same thing.
From the hole, just kind of went up in the corner, just started crying.
Also coming out, I don't know if you're a fan of the Resident Evil series or not, but Resident Evil 6. Of course, we all already knew this, but it's now, I guess, official. They're going to start filming soon. Paul W.S. Anderson's back, and I guess his plan was, because he did not direct 2 or 3. He wrote them, and I think he made co-producer, he's executive producer either way, but 4 and 5, which is Afterlife and Redemption, he has or Retribution, sorry. Like it matters. I like Resident Evil, sorry. Anyway, but he wrote and directed those. So I guess he's like wanting to finish it out, like finish out his trilogy. So, yeah, he's definitely doing part 6, and yeah, that's all the things on there, but so part 6 is coming. Now, actually, we're going to take a break from the sequel, prequel, whatever news. There actually was a little thing I caught, and it wasn't really like horror news, he knows on the horror side, but it kind of felt like it belonged, and I feel like I'm going to throw it out there. You watch wrestling, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, you remember The Undertaker, right?
Yeah.
Remember his manager back in the day, Paul Bearer? Little short guy. He was fat. He had a really high voice.
Like a little bald dude?
No, he wasn't bald. He had like black hair. Well, anyways, Paul Bearer just passed away. Dude's only like 56 years old. Dead. But yeah, I thought that's kind of messed up, you know, but boom, what can you do? Circle of life, you know. So yeah, but Paul Bearer passed away, so rest in peace. Do the 10-bell salute, and you know, boom. Also, I guess this has actually been out there for a while, but I guess it's getting a little more to it. Poltergeist is getting a remake coming up soon.
What is that movie about?
Poltergeist, it's where the family moves into the house and it's haunted, and it's like on an Indian burial ground. And
I see that.
Craig T. Nelson. It's, yeah, I personally didn't care for it. I know, I already did my review on it. I was not a big fan of it. It's getting a reboot.
It was alright.
Well, you may like this. I know, like, I'm gonna mention a movie you like. Actually, the director that they got attached to this project, I don't know the dude's name, but he did Monster House, the cartoon about the house that's alive and everything.
I'm gonna sound like a big chicken, but I'm like terrified of that movie still.
I took her to go see when I took her when she was a lot younger though. Like, I'll give her that much credit. It probably did scar her, but she was like, cause I mean, she's like cartoon, and then like a couple scenes, I guess, a little intense. She freaked out.
I was at 5, and now I'm like 11, and I'm
still scared of Monster House.
It comes on like it came on like last night. I'm like, nope, not watching it.
Really? That is crazy. Hey, I'm afraid of sharks, so it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't be.
I ain't dissing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but yeah, I guess they attached to. He also did a City of Ember, which I've never seen. Just kind of an odd choice, but I guess not really, because Poltergeist is kind of like a family-friendly horror movie. So I don't know. And finally, I've been reading reviews. I haven't been reading the reviews. I've been reading like the headlines because I don't want anything spoiled. Evil Dead apparently huge hit. Like, dude, is at the South by Southwest festival, and people are just rave reviews. They're like, it's great, you know, scary, awesome. Everything you can think of is good. It's being said. And I guess they're already planning on writing the second one. They're going to go ahead and do part 2, which is weird because I just heard like they're wanting to do 4. Like Sam Raimi's wanting to do 4, but now they're going to do 2, and I guess there wasn't no. I don't know. So
kind of confusing.
It is a little confusing, but yeah, they're going. But I didn't see Diablo's Cody name attached to part 2, so I hope she doesn't go anywhere near the goddamn script. So yeah, that's it for news. So boom, there it is. Now we're gonna go on to some viewer comments. Okay, this ain't wasn't even a question. It was just freaking like I started laughing, like you know the LOL. Well, I actually was laughing out loud when I read this little line here. Red Dragon Autobot. 87. Sorry, my handwriting is atrocious. Yeah, he mentioned because I was on the Misery Black show last week. Now she just had like a little pink ukulele mini guitar, whatever you want to call it. So like as we're setting everything up, and like so we kept rehearsing that intro thing over and over and over. And the whole time, like before he started doing that, I was just playing out this little guitar. Like I was just. Oh yeah, I was just playing, goofing around with it and everything. So anyway, but he's just like, man, Phantom can shred. And I don't know, something about that little thing, I was like, oh my god, Phantom can shred. Because now I'm just picturing in my head, I'm like rocking out on this little pink guitar thing. But
like, he's out in like New York and playing like, going.
This selling out arena is just me rocking out with the Misery Black theme song.
It's like that big.
Dude, I rocked it. I rocked that little thing. So, but thank you, man. Appreciate that. Definitely made my day when I read that. Freaking hilarious. Now, there was someone on there who was not a fan. Now, I don't normally take up for Misery.
Kind of mean.
She was. It kind of was. It kind of was. I ain't gonna lie. Now, I don't normally just take up for Misery Black. I mean, she's a big girl. She can take care of herself. But she's not here right now. She's gonna be gone for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So, anyways, I feel like, you know what? I'll go ahead and say something on her behalf. Collector 600. You know, he said something kind of nasty about her. You know, didn't really come out and directly say it. He kind of said like, you're acting like blank. I won't say it. I don't want to. It's a family show, you know, goddammit. But anyways, it's but you know, he did say it. I'm like, you know what, I will say something, you know. You just can't take Misery that serious. I mean, she's kind of like me In fact, he's a lot like me. Like,
Daniel Jr.
we just take little jab, like verbal jabs, and we don't mean anything by it. And I think he was taking up for his friend, which was Ghostface Kid. He was taking up for him, you know. And that's cool. But, I mean, even he knows it's a joke. Like, he kind of gets in on it. I mean, you know, because he kind of throws his little jabs back, too, you know. That's just what they got, the little relationship they have there, is they just take little verbal jabs at each other. So, anyways, I'm just saying, next time you watch your show, don't take it seriously. It's all for fun, dude. So, just relax there.
Just kind of chill down.
And I actually had a question on my Facebook. Some woman named Larissa wanted to know if I ever seen or what I thought about the new movie coming out called Room 237. It's a documentary about The Shining. And I'm going to throw documentary in quotations, though. I mean, yes, it seems like it's, like, what's about is, like, you know, this dude's, like, I guess his whole documentary is about all the hidden symbolism and
about
imagery.
That room.
And, well, not supposed to move the entire movie itself, like, everything in The Shining. I guess, like, something you thought was, like, maybe a mistake or a continuity problem. Apparently, he's just like, no, there's a reason behind it, and it's this symbolism. And I guess, like, even, like, the Kubrick family's like, what?
So it's kind of like a meaning movie.
Well, yeah, they're talking about, like, the meaning of the, you know, the thing. And, I mean, I guess, like, a lot of reviewers who have, you know, seen this already, just like, no, like, literally. It just seems like but it does seem interesting. And I'll tell you right now, I do want to see it. Like, I'm kind of curious.
The trailer does not look very good.
Yeah, like I said, it was a teaser, though. I mean...
It just looks like a room.
See, I liked it.
That just had blood.
No, it was the VCR that poured blood out, remember? But see, that was yeah. Well, that was the take on the old... See, I don't know if you ever seen the old Shining trailer. I don't know if it's the full trailer or the teaser. It just had this word scrolling, and then the elevator had the blood coming out of it. So it's kind of its take on that. I thought it was kind of neat. So yeah, I do want to see it. You know, answer your question there. I think it looks kind of interesting. I wouldn't put much stock into it though. Like literally, I think it's just going to be kind of, you know.
I want to see it, but like that girl that you said that she just wants to wait till it comes out.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't know. I actually, if it was nearby here, I'd go check it out. But it doesn't look like it's going to be a limited release. Or even like a video on demand thing, so I'll probably have to wait till it comes out. But I don't know, if it was close by, I think I would check it out. I'd throw down my $5 to $7.50, depending on what time I go. Check it out. So thank you guys. I appreciate all the viewer comments. Once again, anything you want to say, throw it out here. Questions, comments, hate mail, whatever you got. You know, just throw it at us. You can answer some questions. I'll answer some questions. Anybody here can answer some questions. Whatever you got. Numerous ways to do it. You can leave that comment right down below. Of course, you can hit me up on Facebook, on my Phantom Friends. MovieFam7@gmail.com.
You cannot do that. It doesn't exist.
Personal messages are always a plus. And of course,
Video response.
So there you go. What do you say we get some reviews, shall we? Let's do this thing. Let's get into these. First, we got from 1990 a television miniseries. It. Basic premise is the 7 kids kind of vanquish this demon. However, 30 years later, it comes back, and now you must all go back and confront their fears as adults. All right, now you have actually seen this. This is one of the 2 that you've actually seen. So I'll tell you what, you want to go ahead and take the lead on this. You want to go ahead and give us your review.
Well,
spoilers are okay because it's an old movie, so go ahead.
Whenever that kid with the glasses, killed him. Whenever they were adults, he sees him out his window and he's just sitting there waving at him. That's what it did. I'm lost right now. The kid with glasses. The kid with glasses was Seth Green or Richie. Yeah. Who taped up. Well, they all kind of killed him though, the slingshot, and they didn't kill him, but he jumps in there and he twirls around and everything. So that's what I mean. Okay, and then looks out the window. Whenever they were adults. The Richie kid looked out the windows and seen it right there on the sidewalk. Yeah, that was Ben, wasn't it? When they was on the cab and he's driving and then he's up on the side of the road with the balloon pointing at him and right there. Yeah. Have you seen this? Are you lying to me right here? No, I promise I've seen it. All right. But I seen it whenever I was I'll strike a kid. I will strike a kid on camera. He will too. He can get a little smack down. Just a little, 5 across the eyes. I'll do it. The fan does not care. All right. Your straight eye, give him backhand, be call starting now. Insane. She's seen me at work, All right, so what else you got to say about this? What else? Keep you sick. What were some scary moments to you? All of them.
Give me one in particular, like one that really kind of freaks you out.
He pops out of the sewer pipe thingy.
Sewer pipe thing. Oh, at the very beginning, Georgie
Yes.
popped up right there, one balloon.
Whenever he comes out, it pops up, that's scary.
I will say that, dude. Tim Curry as Pennywise, every scene he's in, he steals it. Like, he literally... in fact, I truly say this. I truly think that a lot of this movie is Tim Curry. Like, if it wasn't for him in this, I think a lot of it would kind of fall flat. I really do. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the acting from the kids especially...
He kind of just makes the movie.
He does. I mean, but, the kids did great. Even the adults didn't do bad. I read a lot of reviews where everybody just kind of shitting on the adults' performances. I thought they did really good, too. The kids are, more... I guess engaging to watch, like you really do kind of get into, like they just kind of bring it together a little bit more. But the adults did good too. Direction ain't bad, But anyways, I still think though, if Tim Curry was not in this movie, it wouldn't be as good. I really don't think so.
Yeah, it would be just like kids just walking around.
The one thing about this, I will say, this is something you hear from every person who's ever reviewed this, whether it's on camera or just when you talk to somebody, like, hey, you ever seen it? We all agree that the first half of this movie, the first part, if you will, is the best. And then after that, part 2, not as good. And I will agree with that.
Okay, I have to ask you something. What is the scariest part of the movie for you?
Oh, for me, let me think here.
Putting you on the spot.
Dude, when I was a kid, I think the scariest part for me was when... It's actually from the second scene, actually, from second half, was when adult Bev is at her own house. And she's talking to this this woman who lives there now, and you can tell, like, at a certain point, it's not her. This is probably Pennywise. And when she looks up, it's her dad, like a sunken-in version of the dad. And, dude, he looks freaky. She runs to the door, and he is right behind her, dude, and literally traps her there. And it's one of those doors you have to pull to get out. So you have to, like, pull. If it's one of those, like, you can just go through it, open, okay, but she has to pull it to her. And, dude, like, he's just right there. Now, nothing happens. But dude, the thought of that when I was a kid, I'm like, dude, I'd be fucked. That's all there is to it. Like, I would literally go to the door.
What's the scariest part right now when you
looking back on it.
When you're adult, what's the scariest part?
That's kind of tough because I've seen it so many times that it kind of loses. Anytime you watch it, it gets a little less scary. I still think, I don't know. I mean, that scene still kind of gets me. I think the mummy scene. There's a scene where Stan goes in the house. And that kind of had the same thing where the door's locked behind him and he's just sitting there in fear and he's holding out his book and he's like saying all these birds and the mummy just slowly, it's it as a mummy, he's slowly coming down the thing. That's kind of creepy.
I think all of them's creepy for me.
You know what? There actually is one scene that I do think is pretty crazy, even now. And I thought it was crazy back then. In the very beginning, when the little girl's playing, and then you hear him, I think you hear him laugh first, and he goes, hi. And when she looks up, the way the laundry, like these sheets, they kind of do this thing. And when they come back up, you see him for a split second. And then, it's pretty creepy right there. But then, like, after, like, he's like, hi, his face gets all serious, and he just starts coming, and dude, I mean, it's just, that's pretty crazy right there. So I'll say, as an adult, that's probably crazy. When I was a kid, I mean, the whole movie, there was a lot of scary parts when I was a kid. Like, I thought when the boy, Bill, young Bill, Jonathan Brandis, I'm going to go on a little rant about that in a second. But anyways, when he's going through the scrapbook and he sees Georgie's picture, and then it winks at him, dude, I'm like, holy shit. And then he throws a book over there and starts bleeding out and everything. That was pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of scenes in here that was just really, when they opened the book up, oh, that's pretty crazy. And it's just one of those things, too, because like, you had all your friends there, it's broad daylight. Like, nothing scary happens in broad daylight when you got everybody around you, dude, but he's flipping through there, and then when he sticks his hand through there, oh my god, I'm just like, I mean, as a kiss, I'm just like, holy shit, like, you're not safe, shut the book. And he does shut the book, and it's okay. I mean, the whole movie itself, I mean, for a TV movie, it's rare that you find something on the TV that's actually scary. And this actually hits it. Like, I think this movie is, I think a lot of it to do is, and I've said this before, I think when you're a child, it's just much more scary too, because when you're a kid, no matter what happens, I mean, you can relate to this, no matter what happens in your world that's scary, you can always go to your parents. Always. Just be like, hey, mom, dad, look, scary shit. And they're supposed to take care of it for you. But when you're a kid and no one believes you, like, and it's weird because as you grow up, it's like you stop believing and stuff like that.
The other night I had a scary dream. My dog Gizmo was like bigger than me. Like trying to eat me. I went to Lady Gaga. I'm like, can you help me? She goes, and she sat there and laughed at me.
Oh my god.
I'm like, Well, I hope you are.
Brutal. And but see, like, you know, but you wake up, you can probably tell your parents, and they're like, don't worry about it, you're fine.
Yeah, but the bad thing is, what parents?
Ah, that's right. Yeah, she's standing character. That's why I like her. But yeah, you know, as a kid, you know, and I just remember, this is kind of a funny story here. I just remember, like, you know, it's been a few years ago, but I have a little cousin, and I remember, like, he was talking about this whole, there's like this, this movie came on, actually, like Channel 4, it just, you know, just a Sunday matinee. Of course, all the kids must have watched it because they're all talking about it. And I just remember he was probably my cousin. I don't mention names on the thing. Come on, I'll tell you after the thing. Anyways,
Cousin Bob.
We'll call him Cousin Bob. Anyways, he as he's talking to me about this, you know, it's like he gets kind of quiet because apparently after this movie came out, there was this rumor that there's a sewer pipe near their school that was haunted, naturally. And it was when I tried to talk to him about it, he got all quiet. And he's like, you won't believe me anyways. And I thought that was really weird because I'm like, holy shit, like when did I become the adult that you don't tell? Because I mean, I'm not going to lie, like, I probably wouldn't believe him. If someone told me, like, right now, if you came to me, he's like, you know, hey, Phantom, there's a ghost over here. I'm just like, no, there's no ghost. Without even really hearing her out. Like, you've never lied to me. But yeah, I would just be like, listen, there's no ghost.
There's a ghost over there. Like, you go, it's like, there's a zombie over there. No,
yeah. I mean, even though it's just that weird, like, you know, when you're an adult, you quit believing. That's what this movie's really about. Like, it really is in a sense, like, you know, and I think it's what really kind of I love about this movie, just because when you're a kid, you're more vulnerable.
Yeah, I watched this show like 1,000 times.
It?
Yes.
Okay.
And I know he's not real, but he's good. If I walk at Walmart and see like those like sewer pipe, I go around.
Really?
Yep.
Man, did not know that either. So you don't mess with sewers at all then. Like, he kind of drains her. That's smart. You never know.
There's a giant one at school. They go walk that way. I'm like, let's not walk around.
He could be down there. I'm just saying, he could be.
Yeah, whenever I walk down, I'm always fake. Just go, hi, come down here. I'm like, let's not.
They got balloons. They float. They all float down there. Anyway, so, yes, once again, I mean, it is just truly freaky. Yeah, the acting, I think the kids do a better job in this movie. I really do. I mean, if I had to, like, give out the awards or whatever, I would definitely give them to the kids. The adults did really well, too. I thought, you know, once again, you got John Ritter. Harry Anderson gets a lot of shit on, like, reviewing thing. I'm like, really? I mean, if you don't like the character, that's one thing. But to say he does bad at the character, that's totally different.
That's kind of mean.
It is kind of mean. It's like they're just being douches about it. I think the only horrible thing about Harry Anderson is that bad John Holmes mustache he has. It's look at that thing. That's ridiculous. That's the first one. That's a bad mustache. That's just ridiculous right there.
Like if you don't like something, you have to just like keep it to yourself. You're that or don't watch the movie.
There it is. You don't like it, don't watch it.
Yeah.
No, I thought everybody did good. The black dude, I think his name's Tim Reed.
Racist much?
No, he's black. He is black. It's the only black guy in there. Not racist. I'm getting called out PC here by the kid. Anyways, I thought he did really great in this movie. See, he's not racist if I say he's gonna do great. You know, come on. And of course, Richard. I didn't know his name at the time. It didn't hit me yet. You believe this crap? I'm getting hassled by the kid here. Richard. I can't think of the dude's last name. Masur. Masur. That one, the dude that slashes his wrist in the bathtub. Yeah, I mean, I've seen him in numerous other movies. You know, he's a great actor. He's in The Thing. Encino Man. Pauly Shore. You liked Encino Man, didn't you? Caveman in the backyard they dig up. He's frozen. And they call him out. Yeah. He played the dad.
Really?
Yeah.
I watched Just Wait Before You Let Me watch that movie.
Ah.
So I should really good.
But yeah, no, everybody did a really good job on here. Lost train of thought here. John Ritter, of course. The music is another thing. It really has like this, like aside from like the carnival music, which is also great, it has like this really beautiful score to like just certain scenes that it really is. I mean, like in the way it turns too. Like I know this is probably just generic, but to me, I'm just like I thought it was really good. Like whenever Bev and Ben are in the room together, and no, I'm sorry, they're not in the room. They're actually on the outside, and she's sitting there, the music's very lovely, and she's talking to him, but whenever she tells him the poem, like starts reciting the poem, see, before that, it was Pennywise pretending to be Bev reciting the poem, and it freaked him out. The music just turns, and I just thought that was really cool, like that really kind of, I don't know.
Okay, can I just like rotated.
Yeah. I mean, it was just it took. I mean, you went from like sweet and lovely to just boom. This could be horrible, but it wasn't because she was really hurt.
Like a shark coming towards you. Like
Dun 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 dun. Yeah, you know that stuff. Direction real good. Directed by Tommy Walls, who did season 3 or season 3, season of the Witch, Halloween 3. I told you it was late. Lay off. Direction's fine on here. I mean, the only I wish it would have been a little gorier, a little more blood, but it is a TV movie. Let's go ahead and talk about it. The giant fucking spider at the end of the movie. Now, look, it's always just bugged me. And everybody's like, well, it's like that in the book to an extent. But I'm like, hey, Stephen King can make anything seem creepy when you're reading it. Like, it don't have to, it can be this bottle. And he can make this seem the most terrifying thing in the world right here. It's the power of Stephen King. So I bet, in the book, it just seems creepy anyways. I'm like, in the movie, for years we've been doing Stephen King books. Carrie, The Shining, great directors that take liberties with their source material. You can do this. I wish they would have just done it in this one. Like at the end, just change it up. Like yes, the second half does kind of have its ups and downs, whatever, but it's solid pretty much until the end. And then this giant, ridiculous spider. And I mean, it's 1990, so I'm not
another feel I have with spiders.
Spider, you don't mess with spiders. I'm not afraid of spiders. I don't like them though. Like they're not like I won't like seizure up like Jeff Daniels and Arachnophobia. But if I see a spider, I'm like I'm gonna kill that thing first before I do anything else, and then I kill it.
That's another one. I walked through a drain, seen it with a spider with him.
See now when it turns to a giant spider, that's just probably a double whammy right there then, huh?
Yeah. Then I'm just dead.
Just forget about it. And so, I don't know, I'm just like, really, you could have done something better with the ending. But from what I hear, I mean, for the most part, it stays pretty close. I mean, that is a tough thing, too. I mean, the book I hear is like, I have yet to read it. I do want to read it now. Like, I want to read like all Stephen King stuff. I'm just slowly working my way through it. But I guess it's like one of his bigger books. I mean, it's up there with like The Stand almost. So to condense that down to a 90-minute, movie, or sorry, 2 90-minute segments, that's something. I mean, that's a feat right there. So, I mean, he, from what I can tell, I mean, and from what a lot of reviews say, I mean, he did a really good job of, trimming this thing down. And it is really nicely paced. I mean, it is almost like all killer, no filler. Like, we literally, I mean, boom, it just goes. Another thing I thought was pretty crazy, we talk about Paul Bear dying. I just found out this week that Jonathan Brandis, the young boy who plays Bill, is dead. 03, are you kidding me? Same year John Ritter died, which is kind of crazy. But apparently this dude hung himself, and I'm like, really, buddy? Like, sidekicks didn't suck that bad.
Have you seen it just standing there, so he goes, bye-bye.
You're saying that's what he saw? I don't think he did that. I mean, maybe he did. I don't know. I really think it's just like his show Sequest was like canceled. He's just like, forget it. I'm done.
Like, I'm mad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of shocked though, because I actually liked that kid. I just remember when I was a kid, it was this.
Something new every day.
Yeah, it was this, Ladybugs, and Sidekicks. I grew up on them. And he's like the star. Yeah, it's where he has to pretend to be a little girl to join this like all women's soccer team, and it has Ronnie Dangerfield. You know that guy, right? Kids. Anyways, Ronnie Dangerfield's like the coach. He's like trying to get close to him. I can't remember. It's a long time ago when I watched it, but it was freaking hilarious, and he was in it, and I was like, it's great. Great actor. He was even like on an episode of Saved by the Bell. He did a cameo as himself, and then he hangs himself. Yeah. They had, I think it was the college years. But anyways, like they some kind of like soup kitchen thing, and he comes down from Hollywood. He's like, I'm here to help out, and they're like, look, and they even say that they're like, look, it's Jonathan Brandis from Sequest, whatever 2023 or whatever the hell the name of it was, and I'm like, wow, I like this guy, and then he hangs himself. It's a crazy world we live in, Natalie. It's a crazy world. But yeah, but no, overall, I can literally talk about this for a long time. It really is just a great movie. I highly recommend it.
He highly recommends it. I don't highly recommend it.
But you're scared of it, though. Mm-hmm. But so it's doing its job then, right? I mean, if it's a scary movie and it actually scares you, it means it's doing its job. So that's an endorsement from Natalie Myers.
Kind of lay his job down.
No, definitely check this out. I mean, it's incredible. If you're a horror fan, this is definitely one. If you're a Stephen King fan and you haven't seen this, I definitely recommend you checking this out.
Who hasn't seen it?
That's a good question. I'm pretty sure everybody who's watching this show has already seen it.
When did it come out?
1990.
How long ago was that?
Oh, wow. That was like 20 years, 30 years? I'm sucking at math right now. 23.
Yeah, he told me on the way here
23
that
years.
he got like A in like math.
Long time ago. Has been a long time ago. Yeah, definitely check it out. I highly recommend it. So yeah, shall we move on?
Sure.
We're gonna go up to 2008 now with The Strangers. The basic premise here is these three psychopaths just kind of show up and start fucking with this couple. Alright, here's my problem with this movie. Alright, when I watched it the first time, I've only seen it twice. I actually only bought it just to do this review, but I bought it cheap, so it's no big deal. When I
like the dollar rack.
Might as well have been, yeah. Whenever when I watched it the first time, I just watched Funny Games, which has Naomi Watts, Tim Roth, Michael Pitt. I can't remember what the other boy's name is. Anyways, it's a brilliant movie. And then I saw this. It to me, it just felt like it's the same exact thing. Like, except not as like the other one just seemed crueler. Like they were just more cruel. Which I know that sounds horrible, but I prefer. I mean, if I'm watching a movie like this, I want it to be really sadistic and cruel. Whereas this one just seems like they're just kind of, I don't know. It just seems like, the people, I don't know. Okay, I'm going too fast. There's so many thoughts up here are toppling each other right now. Funny Games is awesome. Now watch this one, it's not as good. My problem with this was, okay, initially, the characters aren't likable. Alright, that's one thing about me. If you want me to actually care about, in a movie like this, they want you to care about the main two. I mean, they can't say they don't. They do. You're not sympathizing with the killers here.
Okay, then what movie's best? The Strangers?
Oh, It. No, that's not even a contest. It. Bar none. The Strangers, once again, it was just, it wasn't likable characters. It reminded me a lot of Vacancy. And of course, I didn't see Vacancy for the first time until when I reviewed it on the show here. And I didn't even put the two together until I watched this again. They weren't likable leads. And the whole time, it's just like, they might as well just be teenagers because they were just crying the whole time, like, I love you too, but I don't want to get married, oh, why not, oh, I'm going to drive around. It was just like,
drama
it
stuff.
was like, who gives a shit? And then, I guess you are starting to root for, like, the killers. Well, anyways, the people show up, and yeah, I mean,
come on, you kills, just go after them.
And the thing is, though, it takes forever. Like, it's not even that long of a movie, but it's only an hour, it's about an hour and a half, but it feels like it's much longer. You're just like, dude, just get to it. And the whole time, it's just like, and they're like trying to build suspense, but the whole time you're just like, I don't care. And the whole time they're just like looking around, and there's knocks on the door. I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I could not get into it. So I watched it again last night, and then in the ending, I ain't gonna give the ending away, but there's like one last jump scare that was just unnecessary, and it just looks stupid. Like, even like from a movie standpoint. Like, even like, it wasn't like a good jump scare, like a final jump scare, like Friday the 13th, for instance.
Yeah.
Great one. So also Carrie. Or another really good one. That wasn't really much of a jump, but it does make you jump, but this one just like really unnecessary, just retarded. So anyways, alright, so we fast forward, here we are, watching this last night, and I'm watching it again, and once again I'm just kind of like, I still feel the same way. Like I thought maybe I might lessen up on it. I didn't. It still felt like the same goddamn. I only watched the theatrical one. This has two versions. This has the unrated, which adds 2 minutes in it, and it has the theatrical. I just watched theatrical right now. I'll watch the unrated at some other point, but maybe it changes the whole movie. Maybe it's just a wholly different take on it. I doubt it. Yeah, it just seems like it's not even that brutal. Like, okay, the opening to me reminded me of like Texas Chainsaw. Clearly, and anybody can see that. It really was almost like Texas Chainsaw. The narrations, the whole based on true story, the whole thing, whatever. So, and even though it can be argued that like Texas Chainsaw doesn't show a lot of blood at all, actually. Like, everybody kind of remembers it being this crazy, gory movie. It really doesn't show much blood. But it's just a well-crafted movie. This one, I'm just like, it's the same thing. Like, it don't really show a whole lot. But it doesn't really, like, imply a whole lot either. Like, literally, when they finally get, when they finally do, after, like, an hour and, like, 20 minutes of, like, nothing, when they finally gets down to business, it doesn't show a whole lot. And it's not even that gruesome. And I'm like, I'm sorry, a movie like this, I want it to be gruesome. I don't care about suspense with this kind of movie. I'm sorry, this is not Hitchcock. This is just some fucking slasher movie, and I want slashing, and I don't get none of that.
Like, he wants, like, killing, blood.
I do. I mean,
he doesn't want, like, drama.
With someone this creepy looking on the front,
Is that a paper sack on his head?
Yeah, like a sack, like a potato sack or something. And then the girl back there, that's kind of creepy, right? There's another one. I can't remember what the other one looks like. She has like a baby mask on. It looks creepy.
That should be it. That's a baby mask.
Well, that's like a but hers is different though. That's like a glamour type thing. Anyways, it should just be. I want to see like these three just run amok and start. No, we don't get that at all. I don't know. I won't give too much away because it is
only
2008. I don't want to spoil it. I recommend you check it out. I mean, I'll recommend anything. I think you should form your own opinion.
5 years.
So get your math. See, look at that. It's all right. I would struggle longer. But no, I mean, I don't know. What I did like about this, I just noticed it this time watching it because last time I watched it, I don't think I was watching it yet. Glenn Hoverton, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Dennis is in this movie, and when I watched it, I was like, he looks kind of like Dennis, but I'm like, probably ain't him, wasn't thinking anything of it. Because certain scenes he just kind of acted different, so I'm just like, that's not Dennis. And at the end of the credits, it says like Glenn Hoverton. I'm like, holy shit, that was Dennis. I actually went back and rewatched that entire sequence that he's in just to see Dennis again, because I'm a big fan of It's Always Sunny. Love those guys. So, other than that though, I don't know. I honestly was not feeling it. I mean, it was a little bit better this time around. But that ain't saying much, just because I didn't like it at all. Like, I hated this movie when I first watched it. Now, I just don't like it. That's where it upgraded there. This is like the terrorist color chart. We just went from like red to, I guess, orange was the next color in line. Still.
It goes red, orange, green.
No, yellow. And then blue or green's top two. I can't remember. It's been a while. 9/11's so long ago. I can't remember it. But anyways, yeah, not a big fan of this. Was not feeling it. Yeah. I mean, the acting's okay. The music was kind of, I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. I like the Tom and Andy team. This one, though, just nothing really special about it at all. Now, I didn't do my research, as usual. Inspired by true events. I'm not sure if it really is or not, but I'm sure they just probably took like a news headline about a home being invaded. And like, that's a story. It's true. Now, let's do another, version of that. But, yeah. Other than that, like, I'd hope to God we don't see a sequel to this, because I just really... I don't want to see it.
I'm pretty sure if that one's awful, then the sequel would be awful.
Yeah, that's a safe assumption right there.
That'd be awful, then the sequel would be awful.
I thought there was something else I was going to say, but I can't remember now.
Again, he's kind of old.
I'm getting old. She ain't
He's
lying.
been in the dirt too long.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I'm done with this. Yeah, I was not a big fan of this, so.
So it's in.
It's in. It's awesome.
It's in.
It's in. Strangers.
It's down.
So yeah, check it out. Strangers Down. I mean, you want to see something like this? I would recommend.
Why not drama?
Funny Games. I definitely recommend Funny Games. And even, I mean, I didn't really care for Vacancy a whole lot, but it's definitely better than this. So yeah, Strangers. I don't know. Not feeling it. All right, Natalie. You got anything else to add? No.
It's still creepy as heck.
It's creepy. I like how you're using it in there as Clever girl. All right, as a movie fan, I'm out of here then.
Adios.